landscape contractor or something. But he has a great hand. I met him in a printmaking class at Laney College, and he's just, to me, he has a great hand. And sold a couple of his prints.
Were those Tagliano?
Tagliano prints, yeah. He
hand carved metal plates.
Hand carved is not the right word, but hand etched and
worked the surface.
Worked the surface with lots of different techniques. On metal, on the same place. Yeah. So anyway, so not much money, but at least some people got some pieces, and I have yet to pay him, but
just like every gallery owner.
Yeah, take as long as possible. Spread that $20 out for months. Anyway, but that was one good thing. Are you leaving now?
No, I'm not leaving. I'm just trying to get comfortable on the chair that I'm sitting in, which is a great army green.
That's right. That was free too. Anyway, so and I presented the work of Gary Molitor here, who is a very famous ceramic sculptor.
Great stuff.
Leaving now, he's gonna.
It's really great stuff. Look at that.
They're very nice.
That's a cup. If you hold it above the break.
Could have been a contender. So Gary was famous one time in the magazines and the art world.
Still am famous in the magazines.
Well, he's still famous. He still did an article about him that somebody wrote recently, and
how come nobody ever wrote an article about you?
Because I can't write.
You could read well, though.
I don't know. There have been a few. I've been mentioned, and I have a very mixed career in my work, but I'm a happy guy. So basically,
you're involved in lots of things.
I have my fingers in a lot of pies, as I said earlier.
What besides the gallery here, other kind of things do you do?
I worry a lot. I paint. I make paintings. These are my paintings. Here I paint in my studio, in Jacqueline Square and at home, and I make little things, little weird things, and collages and stuff. And I make sculpture. There's a series of angels.
Yes, there's some angels. At least when I was moving these off the stairs so we could work here, some of these look like maquettes for something really big.
Yeah, that's always a thought.
Yeah, something really.
These are all based on, by the way, on two major sculptures that I like. Sculptures. One is the Winged Victory of Samothrace, which is in the Louvre, which is a spectacular headless flying figure, a human body with wings. And the sculpture of Balzac in Paris, made by Rodin, which is this great sweeping man figure that's just kind of enormous. Has enormous power and very large, right at the corner of, I think it's Raspail and Bombal Montparnasse, I think.
Barrelesque.
Yes, just big, very imposing, grand figure. So anyway, these are all kind of come out of that, and I've used this idea.
Let's see if we can move the camera a little bit here and show these things. Just make a little adjustment here, and look out! Oh, there they are. It looks like a pile of tinfoil.
Yeah, right. It's aluminum. This is actually what these are. They're made out of. Sometimes they go both ways. They'll work. Can you see that?
Hold.
And then they work this way. They're made out of.
Hold it over to this side over here a little bit.
Hold it over here.
Yeah. Up a little bit higher. Yeah, there we go. Just far enough away so that we get it away from the other ones.
They're made out of aluminum that's used for roofing material, for gutters, things like that. So it's just common material at Home Depot, and I just take it and I kind of make them like drawings. I kind of sculpt them. They're all very delicately balanced. You have to kind of scooch them around to get them to sit right.
I noticed.
I like that quality about them. They fall over easily. So I've made, one of my friends, Rita Sperry, has bought, I think she bought about 10 or 15, and she suspended them up on the wall in her home and lit them very nicely. So they kind of, the interaction of all the light and the surfaces, as you can see here, it makes it kind of a nice effect by having all this light bouncing off of them.
Oh, they almost almost domino-esque, but I like this one here. This one here has got that. And it also,
don't you have one of those already?
It's guarding the water heater.
Guarding the water heater. There you go. That's where a lot of my work ends up, is in the basement. I have many paintings in basements all over the country.
Okay. Well, so out of this experience,
yes,
what would you say was the positive things?
The positive things is that I'll never do this again. This is a complete waste of time. Don't even think about doing it. No, and the irony about this, there's another irony about this, is I'm teaching a class at Laney now called Small Gallery Management. And of course, most of what I have to tell them is negative, because it's a very difficult thing to do, and you have to have backing and get your budget together and really want to do it. I mean, it's like art. It's like you have to really want to do it if you take this on. And
this is really an independent, wealthy type of.
Generally, yes, you have a huge funding, and the galleries in the city, they have huge financial backup, millions when they go into the business, because otherwise there'll be times when they won't sell anything for a month or two.
Well, when the economy goes to the toilet.
Mm-hmm. And the Bay Area has never been a really, the Bay Area and the art scene has always been a weird thing, and not a lot of money transfers hands. There's not a lot of great collections in the Bay Area and great patrons. The symphony does very well, the opera does very well, the ballet does very well, but painting and the arts like that are always hanging on by a...
well, it seemed that it was better back in the 60s. There was more support back then. I mean, it seemed that the museum over in San Francisco, the Modern Museum, had more interest in presenting at least a show or two.
Yeah, well, remember the biennials or whatever they were? Yeah, those were great.
They were really a great exposure for young artists. Artists were just making this.
Everybody. It was judged by 3 or 4 artists, and they usually picked people that were pretty good, and it was a great venue.
Were you ever in one of those?
No, I was in the Richmond annuals, but not in there was a couple of different ones. There was another one I was trying to think the other day. The Phelan show. The Phelan Awards show. I was in that. But the problem with it became there's always this kind of argument in the Bay Area and probably everywhere, but it's very prevalent here, is the difference between art and the art business. The art business is like the museum now. The reason they canceled, they said, was basically insurance, for insurance purposes. But basically, I don't think they wanted to deal anymore with the kind of hard scrabble artists that were around. They would rather buy a lot of David stills and name pieces to draw a tourist audience in, rather than be supportive of the local scene. And so the Bay Area art scene is very much a kind of an ongoing contest between the art business people in the museum and the artists that are. There's tons and tons of artists around here, but getting those people shown is very, very difficult. And it's, the bottom line, of course, is it's based on bucks. And in the old days, it was not so much based on the money. I mean, remember the car show, that the Museum of Modern Art put on with Mel Anderson and.
Are we talking about the art car show?
Yeah, the cars that ran down the hill. Artists soapbox derby.
That's right. That's what it was.
It was just an incredible risk.
People got hurt.
Yes, a cast iron bathtub flying into a crowd. But of course, it was fantastic because they had some risk involved.
Well, that was also an Art Institute thing, as was the biannual that was shown at the San Francisco Modern Museum. That was
a link to the Art Institute?
Yes, it was the Art Institute that sponsored it. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that. Yeah. See, you learn something from the interviewer. The interviewee learns from the interviewer. Her.
Oh, what did you just say?
I don't know. The interviewee. I just learned something. I couldn't remember. I thought it said San Francisco Museum of Modern Art, but Art Institute. That makes sense because the Art Institute was the mother church. it still is, has a vibe of being, you know, the artists go back there